Your witch wound speaks. Now, if you don't know what that is, I'm going to share with you. But if you haven't met me, then I'm JC Cormack. Welcome, welcome. So let's dive into what this means for you. So how does the witch wound show up in daily life, personally, professionally, in today's world? Okay, so first of all, it is you second-guessing your gut sometimes. You may know you're right, you just feel it, but you were taught not to trust that inner knowing. Society teaches that, authoritative figures, parents, teachers, you name it. Okay. Another way is that you will kind of dim your light within meetings or even conversations because you're really trying to avoid being too intense or too much because you have been labeled as too much or difficult or emotional or weird. Also, you feel deeply on an intuitive and spiritual level. But as I said, sometimes people think you're weird. And so you keep that part of yourself hidden. That's even still to this day, my own witch wound, that even though I'm out in the world doing this work, there's times where I go, And when people go, you're weird, I'm like, yeah, I know, thank you. But it's sometimes not easy. So you can end up kind of holding your ideas back, whether that's in leadership or just ideas in general, because you don't want to be that too much, or that's too out there, or whatever it is. But on the inside, you're very frustrated because no one else is saying what needs to be said, and you know it. Now, you may also be drawn to energy work, different spiritual paths, or some level of healing work, but you still feel that worry or concern, or even some shame around it possibly. Like you need to hide your magic to be taken seriously. This being taken seriously can have an overlap with the creative wound we'll talk about too. But you also do have that fear of being seen. Yet you really just ache to be seen, but to be you, who you really are. There's this inner battle of the witch wound. We long for freedom, but we fear the fire. You were silenced. You may have been belittled or called dangerous, but it's not because you're broken. It's because you saw and you do see what others refused to see. You felt what they denied. You've heard what they've buried. You knew what they weren't ready to face. You carry wisdom that has been feared. Unfortunately, it's often not embraced. But you weren't born to play nice. You were born to see the unseen, to name the unspeakable, to walk between worlds. And, well, they can't handle that. So they called your clarity attitude or dangerous, or, your intuition's like, and it scares them. But here's the thing, you're not confused, they're uncomfortable. Your truth made their lies, things that they tried to convince themselves of, unravel. Your fire made their shadows flicker and twitch. So they told you to be quiet, to smile more, to shrink, maybe even to sit down and shut up. So what did you do? You learned to tone yourself down to be safe. You mastered the art of dimming your light, of being nice enough to survive, of swallowing your inner knowing like it was poison when really it's a cure. You've played small, but your soul has never agreed to that. You see, they called your fire a threat, but really it's medicine. Do you maybe have like this inner rage almost in you, but it's this burning inferno? The thing of it is, that's sacred. That's wild, untamable knowing. It's not a flaw, it's lineage. You are not too much. You're simply remembering who the hell you are. That witch wound runs deep. It's been passed down through whispers and burned pages, through imprisonment and hangings and drownings and, yes, burnings. It's hundreds and hundreds of years of being punished for being too alive. But the wound is not just pain. It's actually a portal. You see, you don't need permission to come back to yourself. Go light your candles. Go speak your truth. Cry your holy tears. Feel the wind in the trees and know they're talking to you. You are never evil. You are never wrong, really. You're just free. And freedom can absolutely, utterly terrify the ones who are still in chains. So let them call it dangerous. You know it's sacred. Welcome back. If you are really, truly ready to understand your witch wound, heal that wound, and step more fully, living more freely, more confidently, more comfortably in your life, reach out to me. Let's work on this together.